It strikes fear in the hearts of adults and children for miles around. You cannot stop it, and yet you know it's coming. I bet you can feel your palms start to sweat as you think about it and your mind beginning to race. And then when you hear these words, you start to tremble. Okay, class, clear off your desk and power down those cell phones. It's time to take your test. Test? Oh my goodness, my mind has gone completely blank. I spent the past 2 weeks studying every day to prepare for this exam, and I don't remember anything. Why is this happening? See what I just did there? So my name is Sharee Davis, and I'm your presenter today. And today what we're going to talk about is stress and testing anxiety. So when I say the words test, pop quiz, or exam, how does that make you feel? So why I'm asking that question is I deal with testing anxiety situations on a regular basis as an academic advisor and as a college instructor at the area community college. And it's really becoming an issue because I have students that are experiencing testing anxiety so badly that they not only burst into tears, but it's actually making them physically sick. And it's really rearing its ugly head now that the program I advise for is experimenting with 5-week classes. Now this is significant because of my student population. You see, I work with the students that tested into the college below the 9th grade level in math, reading, and writing. So these students are learning the English language. These students are primarily adult learners, meaning that they are entering college for the first time, and they've been out of school for X number of years, and they're coming to see us after working in the workforce. And several of them have been diagnosed with various conditions such as dyslexia, traumatic brain injuries, learning disabilities, and anxiety. So what my team and I have been charged with is to help these students become successful. And the purpose of today's speech is to equip the audience with knowledge to help reduce stress and testing anxiety. And in an effort to reduce testing anxiety, we will examine tips that can be used to reduce stress, tips to prepare for the exam, and materials to actually decode the exam while you're actually taking it. So the first thing we want to start with is ways to reduce stress. So first of all, remember, a lot of times it's in your head. It's a mind game. So as long as you approach a testing situation with confidence, and I would say borderline cocky, then you're halfway there. You can also take advantage of various breathing exercises like the one I'm going to demonstrate for you today. So make sure you sit up or stand up straight and don't tuck your chin into your chest. And you're going to take a series of deep breaths. So you're going to inhale through your nose and count to 5 very slowly, and then you're going to exhale through your mouth and count to 5 while you're doing that. And repeat as many times as you feel necessary until you feel like your heart rate is under control. I personally like to do 5 passes, but you can do whatever you need. And I like to raise my arms up and down as I inhale and exhale, but that's not completely necessary. Also, what you may see is people may have various types of sensory items, such as these stress balls that I have right here. So what I actually did with my classes is I prepared exam survival kits for them. So they not only include these stress balls and other types of sensory and fidget items, but I also made sure that when my students are taking exams, I play really soft instrumental, contemporary and classical music, and that seems to help them as well. And then in those kits, I also included reading strips that will help with the individual sentences as well as paragraphs, as well as these larger filtered overlays that can lay completely over the computer screen or over your textbook, and they help with reducing glare. They help with filtering out some of that harsh white light from looking at the computer for an extended period of time. And you may see students that have been diagnosed with dyslexia using these filters as well. And what actually happened is in the math lab, every one of my students used the overlays to take their exams, and they had, each one of them had a fidget item. They don't know how they worked, but they did report back and say that they were successful with those. So now let's move on to exam day. So as you're preparing for your exam, you want to develop a study plan. So this would include determining what type of day that you're most alert. And just bear in mind that as adult learners, we learn differently. So some of the things you may want to try is chunking your study time. So you may want to study for 45 minutes to an hour, take a short break, review what you just studied, and then do another 45 minutes to an hour and continue that as you're preparing the information and help yourself retain that. So the way I studied when I was 18 is not the same way that I study now as a 32-year-old graduate student. And then lastly, you want to address your basic needs. So did you eat something healthy prior to taking the exam? Did you get enough sleep? Are you dressed in layers because the testing center can get hot or cold? And then also, if you have a documented disability, did you set up your testing accommodations? And then on the day of the exam, make sure that you arrive early to get a good seat. Make sure that you have all of your materials. This will also give you an opportunity to actually scan the exam once it's been passed out, ask questions about the directions, and get a feel for the amount of time that you're going to have taking the exam. And then pace yourself. If you don't know the question, move on and come back to it later. And then after you get the exam back, after it's been graded, take time to review what you got wrong, and also set up office hours with your professor. So in conclusion, we have reviewed ways to reduce stress, prepare for the exam leading up to it, as well as tips that you can follow on exam day. So I'm just going to leave you with this one final thing. Study hard and come with it. Thank you so much. Bye.